Well, Sean, I was watching that countdown doing its countdowning thing and feeling pretty darn excited. We've been working towards some changes for many months here, and today's big reveal feels very much like we are finally officially underway. I'm Madeline, Director of Content at SeedWorld Group, and with me is Sean Brooks, our President. Many of our readers know us best via one of our publications. In the US, that would be SeedWorld. In Canada, it would be Germination. In Europe, it's European Seed. And most recently, in Latin America, it's SeedWorld LATAM. So we have some big news at SeedWorld Group. Sean, why don't you lead us off by unveiling what's ahead?
Madeline, that's awesome. Thanks for chatting with me today. Yes, to say we're excited would be a complete understatement. I think it's an evolution that we're very excited about. And the evolution is this. The SeedWorld brand is expanding globally. The SeedWorld reputation has already been a global reputation, and it's two words that are synonymous with seed information, with seed leadership, with seed people. It's a connection point around the world already. And with this change that we're evolving to is to make the SeedWorld brand omnipresent in each of the continents that we do business in. So that will have European Seed becoming SeedWorld Europe. It will have Germination becoming SeedWorld Canada. SeedWorld will be SeedWorld US, and SeedWorld LATAM will remain as SeedWorld LATAM. So it really expands dramatically the SeedWorld family, and we couldn't be more excited about pushing that forward.
So everything we do at SeedWorld Group is intended to provide the best experience for our partners, our advertisers, and of course, most importantly, our readers and the industry. How does this change deliver on that promise?
It emphasizes the scope of our network, the level at which we connect with people. And I think the number one priority for all of our properties has always been about telling the story of the people, making those connections of the people, because that's what makes our industry so strong. Talk to anyone in the industry, and the reason that they're in it was not to get rich quick. It was because the people in this industry are the best you're going to come across, and it doesn't matter what part of the world I travel to. So our ability now to expand and continue to expand those networks, continue to expand our ability to tell the story, and then cross-reference those stories. What happens in Europe is so valuable to understand what happens in LATAM, which is so valuable to happen what's in North America. And our ability to cross those divides and assist both companies and individual people in being successful in those marketplaces is now second to absolutely none.
Okay, so there's two key points that are coming out of that. First of all, this is not about centralized messaging. So our vision has always been and continues to be that this would be Europeans talking and writing about Europe, Canadians talking and writing about Canada, etc. That said, it's certainly more than just a name change for each of the publications. Can you speak a little bit about how the changes that we're making will allow us to do an even better job of keeping the industry informed?
I think that's going to come in two key formats. And before I tell those two formats, you correctly pointed out, we want to maintain a boots on the ground approach to our content sharing and development and curation. That we have people in country, in continent that are able to tell those stories, because that's who tells those stories the best. So that commitment is resolute and will never change. The two pieces that really expand here, though, are, first of all, that ability to cross-reference, to be able to tie in and have learnings from not just our local area, but to have learnings from around the world. I think our life science company friends in the Big Four have been doing this for years, and the strength of having those learnings cross over from one to the other allows us to grow faster, and it allows us to grow better. So as we grow, our ability to deliver that information and the right pieces along the way to our audience continues to expand exponentially. Secondly, this change confirms that SeedWorld is indeed the brand of choice. It's the source of information that people are going to look to no matter where they are on this glorious planet. They can look to SeedWorld and know that they're going to get trusted information, timely information and the most relevant information so they can make business decisions going forward for their businesses. That's our mandate. And now we don't have to wonder where we go. We know we go to SeedWorld. Single source, single stop information for the entire seed industry across the planet.
Perfect. So you've led SeedWorld Group for nearly 20 years. How are you feeling about these changes? I know, right? Not to date you, but are you feeling pretty excited? Is this a natural progression from our long history?
Yeah, I think there's a few feelings that come up. One is of pride. One is of pride of seeing this brand grow into what it has become, a globally recognized source for information and a network that connects people around the globe. That feels really strong to me. And the reason we've done that is by this powerful team that we've assembled across the planet of people who not only understand the seed industry, but understand how to tell a story, how to build a connection with a particular audience. And that's what we're really experts at. So there's a pride component. I'll be the first to admit there's a little bit of a tear that gets shed for some of the brands that we're moving away from, right? So Germination has been a long-standing brand. It was one of the impetus to the entire organization. But the great news is the Germination brand might be going away, but the hard-hitting, critical information for Canadians by Canadians is still going to be there. And same goes with the European Seed brand. Our partners over at Euroseeds with European Seed have been staunch supporters of the publication and of our organization. And they're as excited as we are to move from European Seed over to SeedWorld Europe to continue that great level of content and information to be able to share. So pride, a small tear for the fallen comrade, so to speak. But probably the number one thing that I'm feeling is lucky to be part of it, and lucky to be part of such a powerful team that continues to drive us forward, whether it's with content, whether it's with innovation on distribution, whether it's with innovation on how to create advertising opportunities and opportunities for advertisers to connect with this wonderful audience that we've been able to grow and continue to grow day after day, week after week, year over year.
Fantastic. So SeedWorld Group exists for the seed industry. It's the niche we've invested in since SeedWorld itself began back in 1917. How does this shift towards sort of an increasingly global perspective and global reach align with what's happening in the larger seed industry?
I think anyone that's been in the seed business for more than 12 months is very clear that this is a global business. And it really doesn't matter what crop type we're talking about. That crossing of borders, that understanding how business is done in different areas is critical to everyone's success. And yet, we still need to be very clear on what national and regional rules apply for our particular industry. So while we're going to continue to grow our global reach, you said it right off the top, and I reiterate it again, we will always, always, always have regional representation to ensure that we have locals talking to locals. That combined with our ability to create this global network where we can also offer an opinion on another area so that we can have editors from North America commenting on issues in Europe. We can have South American editors commenting on things that are happening in Europe, because the number one piece that drives our organization is to be audience centric. It is an absolute must for us that everything we do is about getting the audience what they need. And so we heard it loud and clear when we tested this process, when we reached out to our audience to check in and see if this was going to give them what they needed. And they were emphatic that this is exactly what they need. Boots on the ground of local people, but an ability to have input and networking from around the world. And that's what we're delivering.
You mentioned excitement and pride and the tear in your eye as feelings. I'm going to add one more to that. I'm feeling kind of relieved to have this message out there to the world. We've been working behind the scenes on this for some time, and I'm just pretty pleased to finally be able to share it and say, this is happening, and it's a good thing. Certainly for SeedWorld Group, it's a great thing for the industry as well.
It is a great thing. And I think there's enough people that will see this and understand what is involved in launching a brand, what is involved in expanding a brand, that there will be some appreciation on the effort that goes into to accomplishing this sort of a task. So kudos to you and your team for being able to make that happen, Madeline.
No, it's taken a whole lot of people and a whole lot of hours, but I think there's general excitement behind the scenes, and we're just looking forward to being able to do a better job for the industry.
Agreed completely. Well said.